You're gonna be really confused when I say this, but I give this really good mixtape
Pagans trying to get them shot like Vivo, wounded, trying to get them healed like chemo.
a 6.5 and an 8. I promise you'll understand later. Since OFB's rise to fame, SJ has been championed by many fans as one of the best in UK drill to this day. And because of that, I went into this project expecting it to make me rethink whether or not drill is truly dead. Spoiler alert, it didn't, but it did make a really strong argument. Let's break it down.
KRXOVR Media.
This mixtape also has elements of a solo EP that reflect the evolution of UK rap as a whole as it continues to steer away from drill, all while SJ continues to reflect on his own growth and the decisions that costed him his freedom. Where the greatest what if shines is in how the title, cover art, and content matter all align with the duality of SJ and his story. The split image of a young and current SJ, as well as the Broadwater Farm Estate and prison scene in the background, is not only a creative choice, it's a story in and of itself that communicates the layers of the mixtape in a thoughtful and intentional way. All of this contributes to both of my final scores. The biggest surprise here though, SJ's flows and delivery.
This peak though, trying to do my sentence speed though, thinking, did he really want me free though? Friday, trying to do a man like Debo.
It's so impressive how he's continued to evolve and adapt to newer production styles, even while in prison. The best examples of this can be heard on the singles Where We From and Woyoy.
Where we from Tottenham, use bad, not them. Anyway, we spot them, roll try, drop them.
And while those songs are memorable because of SJ's airtight and relentless delivery, they also stand out because of how overwhelmingly underwhelming the production is on the rest of this mixtape. The drill beats are way too generic and identical, while some others feel like they were made for somebody else entirely, like Marnes Malone or Clavish. And this was probably a missed opportunity to hold back on some of those songs for a potentially legendary collaboration between the three of them. However, the biggest missed opportunity here lies in the arrangement of the tracks. If the drill songs were placed up front with the more effective songs closing the project, it would do more justice to what this mixtape seems like it's trying to do, which is show us SJ's growth. It's just way too difficult for me to empathize and take him seriously when he's claiming to be innocent in between songs when he's doubling down on being in jail for living what he raps. Aside from that, the features here generally had synergy, but most of them didn't really add anything with a handful of exceptions.
Lock your doors and stay safe, don't be in big places, kinda one hunters out and it ain't safe. You never is that hunting a had man doing up nay.
And there was one feature that took a turn for the worse that was genuinely disappointing to hear, but I'm not gonna get into that. The bottom line is, regardless of how good it is, I give this mixtape a 6.5 because it does way too little, way too late. This mixtape would have been an 8 if it dropped 3 years ago before the decline of drill, where some of this content would have been way more exciting. Even my favorite song could barely be considered innovative with the amount of people rapping on Jersey beats over the last year alone.
After the package, I done me a slapping, really and truly, I should have took flight.
And most importantly to me, it's evident that SJ really hasn't grown up enough for the real rap to truly shine and feel authentic, especially after someone like Marnes Malone beating SJ to the punch and dropping a way stronger project while also in prison. Regardless of my critiques, these imperfections are ironically appropriate given the circumstances and context, and they somewhat add value by successfully leaning into and answering the question of this mixtape: what if SJ didn't end up in prison?